Hey guys, Manitove here. What we're doing today is an after-action review of Guild Wars vs. Pride, and I'm going to be highlighting one particular unit, and that is the Fire Vagabond. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're working with here. Alright, this is my Fire Vagabond. As you see, not amazing stats. I have him on double energy, resistance, endure runes. The reason why is I wanted pretty high resistance so he could tank things out. For those that don't know what the Fire Vagabond does, it is a pseudo budget Jean. I was actually looking to build this unit a few years ago because in the hopes and dreams of playing Summoner's War and achieving a Nat 5 from the light dark elements, I really wanted Nyx so I could pair with this guy. Because of his skill set. Like most vagabonds, skill 1 is a defense break, 2 turns, and the damage is dealt according to his max HP. Second one, slash waves, attacks 2 times, has a chance to break the attack power for 2 turns, once again, HP scaling damage. And then the last one is Cry of Challenge. Increases your defense for 3 turns and provokes all enemies with an 80% chance, goes up to 100%, and reusable every 3 turns when max skilled. So before Jean was introduced, I had the hopes and dreams of pairing this guy with Nyx, who increases all debuffs by 1 turn, because 2-turn taunt I thought would be just amazing. So I started building this guy, and then they dropped the developer's note saying Jean's going to be introduced into the game as a fusion monster with a 2-turn taunt. So he ended up being food. But here we are, a few years later, I've come full circle on this guy. I actually built him, and well, you'll see how well he does. The reason why I built him is he actually does play a very pivotal role in which Jean cannot fill. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. So, in this first matchup with Pride, I have Sierra, Fire Vagabond, and Abelio, and this is the reason why I built this guy. Molong, Tyrannies, and Harmonia on defense. Now, don't worry, we'll cover all the matches you see on the screen, but we'll just start off with the highlights. Alright. The reason why Jean is not as good as the Fire Vagabond in this instance is I build to fit niche needs. It's not like I'm overly equipped with the G3 players rune sets. So when I build a unit, I look at how I can abuse the game mechanics in my favor. Jean is not going to immediately force Molong to attack it. It will randomize between the off elements, and because Sierra does have an elemental advantage over the Molong, it would choose between Jean and Abelio. But this way, it's 100% certain that the Molong is going to target the fire unit because of elemental advantage. And that's why I think the Fire Vagabond is a better unit in that essence. For this particular manipulation of the game mechanics. Most people, the moment I 6-starred this guy, I saw a lot of people in chat either referencing the fact that they've never seen one of these 6-starred before, or they didn't even understand why I would waste the resources to 6-star this unit. It's not a bad unit. It wasn't a bad unit 3 years ago. It's not a bad unit now. It is a 3-star unit, so the base stats naturally are not as good as a natural 5-star, which Jean would have the edge on. But for my playstyle and the way I'm comfortable with it, when I can dictate which way the damage is going and I know what to expect, it makes the gameplay a lot more simpler for me. The other reason why I decided to build this guy was because I did pull Abelio. the Water Druid. Now, the passive of the Water Druid is really what made me think that this comp was going to be a successful comp. Whenever a unit's life is reduced below 30%, Belial will automatically get a turn when he's in Druid form. So Molong is going to use his Reckless Assault. It's going to have more HP than my Fire Vagabond, which is going to trigger the passive for Belial to get to turn, which means he's going to be able to do his AoE heal and attack bar increase, which is going to help me turn cycle because, as you saw, my Sierra is faster than both of them. So I drop the bomb, and normally I won't detonate unless I'm trying to prevent like the unwanted harmony or something like that. Otherwise, I'll let the bomb just sit there, just in case they violent proc and they can kill themselves. So far I have played with this guy in 7 matches. He is 6-1, and that was, as will see, especially in the next highlight with the Fire Vagabond, that RNG always isn't on your side. Now we have a typical Kamoon, Bastet, and Odin defense. I don't know why people build it this way. This one did not have shield on it. I don't understand. I'm seeing a lot more people doing it like that. So do you not have the shield runes to make this comp viable? Or are you trying to get the Odin to do some splash damage to make sure he kills turn 2? The whole purpose of this defense is supposed to be a turn 1 snipe 2v3 situation. So maybe they're trying to wise up to people like me that have figured out, you just bring Vanessa and then you'll kill Odin. I don't know. But I'm seeing a lot more defenses without the shield component and just have the Odin on will. I did get a fire pony pretty recently. Got it skilled up, enjoying it. The AoE defense break is nice. The attack bar absorption is nice because you can desync things. Leo Vanessa Rexus defense. So if you've got Leo, you got Vanessa. As you might have seen at the beginning of the match, that there are 2 sets of will now on my Vanessa. I did go ahead and pull the trigger and make that change off of Violent. Mine is now double will, and I think a broken set right now, or double will Nemesis, something like that. But that's just for the pure and simple fact of once turn 2 comes around for the opposing team and the Bastet decides to do a Curse of the Beautiful, I don't want my Vanessa's defense broken. I figured the Fire Pony could absorb a hit. It has self-sustaining when it's in pony form, so it could take a hit. It's pretty tanky, and because of its transformation counting as a turn, it does self-cleanse the defense break. So that's why I went with this particular comp. Now I tried to build the Fire Cannon Girl for the damage increase on double will. And I think I need better will runes before I go ahead and try that comp again, because there just wasn't enough mitigating damage output to justify bringing that unit. Alright, we'll go ahead and go into the next one. Now this one is going to drag out for a really long time because I hate fighting the Wind Pally on defense. They're so proc heavy, annoying. So I figured I would bring my Leo to snipe it, because Perna is going to do Perna things, which is going to take my Leo down. Instead of bringing Vanessa, I decided to bring Fran because I wanted to avoid being stunned by the Perna and also provide additional immunity to my Rena, so it did not get defense broken. As you see, this person obviously takes pride in these particular units. They've all got auras, pretty fancy. And there goes Perna doing Perna things. I tried to snipe out the Wind Pally, and as you see, just that much life. So when I do get my attack tower finally maxed in the arena, which I am pretty close to getting, it's a +9 skill up now. I think I only need about 200 more arena points. I finally dedicated myself to doing that. I even built a Zyros Cleave just so I wouldn't be so annoyed by doing arena. It's just so mundane and monotonous doing arena. Either you have to try to outspeed or you have to survive shenanigans on their side. It's just, nah. You would think 10 wings a day wouldn't be hard, but then you got regen, so it turns out to be almost like 25 wings a day. You're just dealing with nonsense. And then even when you put in a farm defense and you're like, oh, I'm going to go down to the low ranks and just farm points, every G1, G2, and G3 player is doing the exact same thing. So you might find an easy match every 2 or 3 per refresh, but it still consumes too much time. So that's why I built the Zyros Cleave. But this match, actually, you'll see that the recording does stop after I kill the Feng Yang and almost get the Perna killed because ComTOS caps the recording, the internal recording, to when the draw button appears. And you'll just see it pop up and say I win this round. But once again, just to go off of things I've said before, why I brought this particular comp. Leo's ignore defense just makes things a lot more simpler. I don't have to do any sort of fancy calculations. Doesn't need a lot of setup. And it's 2 win units on defense. So that means Arena's going to own it. It doesn't matter how many times this Feng Yang defense breaks and procs. It's always going to crit. It's always going to have a shield. And it's obviously not on destroy, so I have nothing to worry about. So the only real threat beyond this point is, like you saw, Perna going 3 or 4 times in one turn and knocking out my Leo. I mean, that's really the only option for me to lose this round. Now you see Feng Yang decided he was going to change targets because Leo was below the 30% threshold, which the AI does take into calculation. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and remove that threat from the field and delete it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am really excited to see about this new massive update. So we'll see how this goes down on Saturday at, 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. my time, because I'm on the West Coast. I am really hoping that they put in some new PvE content. Ideally, what I would like them to do is introduce another dungeon in Karos. And some people are like, why would you want that to happen? And let me give you my reason why I want it to happen. I want them to take the rune sets that are pertinent to certain areas and move them to the 4th dungeon, so you can more easily attain the rune set you were looking for. Before they added the new sets and they expanded on the dungeons and all that, and moved, they moved Rage out of Giants and put it into Necro and all that stuff. And then they they put in the mats for rune farming, rune crafting and whatnot. So they lowered the chances of you getting an actual win, or the item that you're looking for. So here's another one where we're going right here. We're going to have a Reckless Assault, and once again, Mo Long is going to proc into a Dragon Dance. 2 for 2 on matches that you see, and he lands the stun on my Abelio. Now you see right there I did not detonate the bomb because I want the proc to kill it. I get a lucky off element stun on the Wind Druid. But just it happens more often than not. You get the Reckless Assault into Dragon Dance and then it throws off your whole tuning. So it looks like I'm in a bad position because my Abelio should have been able to do that last turn, but it was stunned up and then got taunted on top of that. If they put that the 4th dungeon in and they move the PvP runes to that dungeon, then when someone is at the level of where they need to PvP, where it's a PvP incentivized rune, sort of like Will, then they can just go farm that particular dungeon and not have to worry about trying to get other things or inadvertently getting other things. Now, that also simplifies the amount of drops that are in that particular thing, so it will increase the chance that you're getting the rune that you're looking for. At this point in the game, on 6 years now, I've been playing for 2,114 days, something like that, and the grinding needs to stop, as bad as it is. If you really want people to play more and you really want them to progress more, then start making the grind less of a grind. If you're going to make it a grind, then make it a grind with the payoff, not just layers upon layers upon layers of RNG. Like, I'm looking for rage runes in Necro, and I'm going to get 5 straight destroyer runes, a 2-star Rainbow Mon. It just... I can go an entire day farming Necro and not get a usable rage rune, if I get a rage rune at all. And you start looking at the drops and what you're seeing, and it's like, wow, I spent all day, I spent 7 refreshes. I'll just use a smaller number. And out of 7 refreshes, I got 1 rage rune out of 3 rage drops, and everything else was literally a waste of my time. So, and I'm not the only person that feels that way. Just make it so you can actually feel like you're achieving some sort of progression, especially after 5 years. That's all I'm asking. So what we have here is there was not an opportunity for me to bring the Vagabond into this one, so I went double Pally, Sierra. Typically, when I see a Beast Rider, I want to bring Leo, but there is a Beast Rider in the next round, so can only bring one Leo. So I figured Ophelia would handle this pretty well. Very tanky, durable, making the Ethna target Ophelia, even if it throws out AoE defense break. Kamoon or Barbara would still have to attack the Ophelia. And Ophelia does provide itself with 1 turn immunity every time it attacks. So, just a safe option. I went ahead and made the switch on my Wind Paladin. It is now on Violence as well. I ran mine for Swift since I got it, because I had a decent Swift set. I didn't want to give up the stats to put it on Violent. But I got a near comparable Violent set finally, via some luck in the reaps. So, made the switch worth it. Barbara's an amazing unit. I don't have that one. I would love to have it. Might incentivize me to RTA. So if you want to drop me 1 comm to us, I'm not going to argue with you. Or you can give me my 9th Sekhmet. Always down for a blessing. Back to this massive update. I think it's going to be... I hope it's more PvE content that alleviates the burden of the grind. They are making changes, and they're making it easier for early and mid-game players to progress, which is great. But like I said, after playing for as long as I have, and I play daily, I don't think I've missed a day of farming in almost 4 years. So, it almost seems like you want to punish your older players by continuing to beat them up with these monotonous runs over and over and just consuming resources. Now, this last one here is a loss because dumb decisions, I guess. I don't know. If Molong Recklesses, after my Lauren dies, if it chooses Leo, I win. It went after my Tyrannies. A couple procs. You're going to see the 2015 Molong here in a second, where it's going to proc, and then AoE strip, and triple stun my team because, you know, elemental advantage and whatnot. My rationale behind it, once again, Leo pretty much eats these Beast Riders up because they're speed scaling damage dealers. So no speed equals no damage. And then it goes after my Druid. I should have popped the self-revive on the Druid to buy myself some more time and extra life. Triple stun right there. Can't win them all, I guess. That'll conclude my after action review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything you think I missed, please leave it in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to the video. If you guys got any ideas about the massive update, or if you're excited about anything, let me know. We'll see how everything goes in a couple of days. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.